Hello everyone, good morning. I hope you all are fine and good. I am back with a new story for you all. I hope you all like this. And our today's story is two stories about flying. This story is about flying only, exactly you understand by the name. In this story, there is a one young bird who wants to fly, but cannot, by the overconfidence, by the less confidence. The bird does not have that much of confidence. The bird wants to fly but cannot because the less of confidence. The whole family can try, but let's see what happened. Let's go ahead in the story. As I told you, his first flight and highlights, the introduction, the narrator, the story written by Lime of Faulty is an account of young bird that is afraid to fly for the first time. As I told you in the starting that this story is about the young bird who wants to fly, but she is very afraid of flying because she is very little. She is right now starting for the first new time. It happens to everyone. When we go to school first time, we are very much afraid. Why? Because this is the first time we are starting our journey to the school or anything else. When we are going to purchase some new thing, when we are starting a new business, when we are starting a new service, everything what we are starting, our first day is very difficult for us. You know why? Because we have less confidence. We are not much sure that what happens in the next 2 or 3 hours. So that's how the bird is also very distressed, very afraid because she never tried it. She never tried earlier that how can she fly. So let's go ahead and who support him, let's see. Despite his younger brothers, sisters, siblings are very fearless, much shorter wings they have, he could not gather the courage to do the same. He was punished to stay hungry, but he did not try. Thus, it was his mother that compelled him to fly by using this food as a trap. You know what happened? His brothers, sister and siblings, they also have a short feathers, wings. You know what is the meaning of seagull? As I told you in the starting that it's a story of young bird seagull. Seagull means the birds which are living near the sea. They have small wings, small feathers. So as the young bird seagull, like their siblings also have a short wings. But they are very much courageous. They started flying because they tried. But the young bird never tried to fly. You can also think that if you are afraid of something, I can't say that don't be afraid. Always be confident. Sometimes we have some fear. I also have fear. When I started teaching for the very first time, I am also very nervous that how can I do this? How can I be on the stage? How can I be on the front of students? But when I tried, when I start my journey, I'm here with you all. So never fail, never stand like this, never think that you cannot do this. Always think positive that if you can try, you can be fulfilled. Maybe it happens that in the first time you may not fulfill, but never let it be go. Try for the another 2, 3, 4 times, but never let it go. Because if you think that you cannot do it, you cannot be past anything. So please kiddos, never fail your dreams, never fail your thinking. Because when you try something new, it may happen that you can fail 1 or 2 times, but it never happen that you cannot pass. The new thing always creates some disadvantages for us. Always create some ventures for us, but it doesn't mean that the task is not easy or task is undoable. So everything is needs some confidence. Like that, the bird needs some confidence. The family members gave him a punishment to stay hungry. The family members told the young bird that if you never try, we cannot give you the food. You have to stay hungry. The young bird have given in isolation. You know what is the meaning of isolation? Isolation means the room in which a young bird is only alone and no food, nobody would come to see him, nobody talks to him and no food will given to him. It was very tough for the young bird, but still he said he never tried. And that was the wrong thing. He should try. What happened? If you try, you fail one time, you fail two times, but it doesn't mean that you fail, that you cannot do it next time. So let's go ahead and read ahead what happens next. The lesson reflects that how one hesitates to take the first step. Fear is all in the mind. One should trust one's ability. The poet is only trying to say that our thinking is everything. In my mind, what is going on? That I am very fearless. I don't want to do this. So this is my thinking only. If I perfect my mind, if I am very much confident that I can do it, so nobody can stop me. If you think that you can do this job, nobody can stop you because you are more confident than everyone. So that young bird also needs some confidence. And you know what happens next? The young seagull was alone on his ledge. His two brothers and sisters already flown away the day before. As I told you earlier, seagull. Here it is. Seagull means the birds which live near the sea. And the young bird is alone over there. Nobody else was there. His brothers, sisters always just day before he flown away. And they also have the short wings. But he had been afraid to fly, as I told you. Somehow which he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempt to flap his wing and become afraid. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. He never tried a single, and that's the problem because everyone has a short wing. His brothers, sisters also have a short wing, but they tried. They have a confidence, they have a courage. So they just flown away, but he is still on the same lane. As I told you, his father and mother around calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening to let him starve on the ledge unless he flew away. But for the life he could not flee. As I just told you, shrilly, upbraiding and threatening, they all are the words of the one and the same meanings. Means her mother and father only wants one thing. They are just wanted to threaten him that whatever we can do, he just try once. Doesn't happen, doesn't mean that he fails or pass. We also know that in the very first time, we did not fill the one stream. We did not just go on the sky, but at least try one thing. So her mother father threatens him very much. He just told him that he will not let him go anywhere else, nothing he can happen. That was 24 hours ago, since nobody can come near him. Nobody talks to him, nobody go nearest to him. And the day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sisters. Because they all know how to fly. They have a confidence that much of. Perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching him how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. And he is watching from the miles down. What happened? Like this, he is just sitting down and watching his sisters and brothers, that how their parents is teaching them, because they are very much well known that how to fly. Ga, ga, ga. He cried, begging to bring him some food. The parents told him not to give anything, so they didn't give any food also. But he is trying a lot because now its difficulties are going long and long. She screamed derisively, but he kept calling plaintively. After a minute or so, uttered a joyful scream. His mother has picked up a piece of the fish. Now his mother have a plan. Our mother loves very much, all of our mothers, and she wanted her child to be the best. And the young bird mother also tried that nothing can work. Threatening doesn't work, isolation doesn't work. So he has a trap in his mind. He just wanted an idea and she is just going on that idea. What he did, he just picked up a fish and flying across with it. And he is just looking there. The young bird from the behind, he is just looking that my mother is coming with a piece of fish. He leaned out angrily, tapping the rock with his foot, trying to get nearer. He thinks that my mother is coming to me with a piece of fish. But when she was opposite to him, she halted her wings, motionlessly. Now another meaning I told you. She halted her wing motionlessly. Here, halted means when we are expecting too much and that doesn't happen, then what agreedness, what type of situation of us, that means halted. So the young bird is very motionless. He is nothing to do. The piece of fish in her beak, almost within a reach of his beak, means the bird is saying, like, trying very motionless. The piece of bird in his beak, but her mother didn't give. What happened? He is very angry. He thinks that he can't do for the food. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly, and commended himself to dive and soar curve. Shrinking shrilly, he was near the sea now, flying straight over it facing straight out over the ocean. Her mother plans work. This is the plan of her mother, that he will come with a piece of fish and she will not give to him. Just a plan, and it works. The young bird is very motionless because he is very hungry. Her parents give him the punishment that if he didn't try, he will not give them food. And without food, he is very hungry. And her mother plan is also that if she go with a piece of fish and if she didn't give, that the bird will become very angry and he definitely try. And that happens. He is very motionless at that time. He just wanted the food. And at that time, he just forgot all the things, that he is flying for the very first time. He is very much confident at every time. And he tried. Now he is near the sea. And he just tried at once. He is more confident than ever. He saw a vast green beneath him and little ridges moving over it. His parents and his brother, sister landed on his green flooring ahead of him. And they all are very happy. You know why? Because he tried at least one time. Her mother succeed. Her mother's plan succeed because she knew that what a child can do. They were beckoning to him, calling shrilly. He dropped his leg, stand on the green sea. His leg sank into it. He screamed with fright and attempted to rise again. As I told you every time, that maybe for the very first time, if you try the things, it may be fail. It happens to the young bird also. For the very first time he tried, but at least he tried. Her legs were dipped into the sea. He is very afraid. But what happened? He tried again because he is very hungry and could not exhausted now. He is very by the strange exercises. What is the meaning of sank over here? Do you know? Sank means whenever we are very irritated, we want something very eagerly, we are just very obvious about that thing. So that the young bird situations is like that. He was floating on it. Like this he was floating. And praising him their beaks was offering his scraps of dogfish. He made his first flight by that trap. I know he failed for the first time, he sank, he float. But what happens? He just learned to fly. This is the very first flight of him. And how could he fly? If his mother did not did this trap for him, did he try? Her parents also don't want that her child to be hunger, her child not to eat food. But everything needs some confidence. Everything needs some strategy. Sometimes our parents also do with us like this. They also told us that if you will not do this thing, we will not give you this. So this is not like that our parents don't want to give this. This is the only meaning that they love us too much. They want that our child to be the very best. By this strange exercise, his feet sank into the green sea and then his belly touched it and he was floating on it. And around him, his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks was offering him scraps of his dogfish. He made his first flight. Everyone was there watching the young bird that he is trying, and everyone from the beside just praising him, like our family also. When we are doing something new, our family always there for praising us. Like that, young bird family also praising him very much. Like, yes, you can do it, you can do it. And by this praising, his first flight his first flight offers. He started flying. He is successful now. And that was the starting and the end. I was trying this only. I want to try this, that never lose your confidence in any situation. Because if you have confidence, if you have the zeal to do anything, nobody can stop you. Nobody can fail you. So till that time, say bye-bye.